Hi guys, as we come closer to wrapping up Summer Equals IPL, we'll just talk about the Royal Challengers Bangalore season. We'll also talk a bit about the playoffs and what we are looking forward to in the last few games of the season. But first things first, it was really hard for me to watch RCB get knocked out this IPL season. I don't know why this loss hurt more than all the other, losses that RCB have had over the years, be it in the playoffs, finals, things like that. This one just hurt a lot, and I put that down to a lot of things. We'll discuss that, but we're primarily here to talk about RCB's entire season. What went wrong, what went right, things they can look forward to in the coming season, and all of that. Adi, what do you think RCB's season has been like? If you had to sum it up, what would you say about RCB's campaign?
I mean, if I have to sum it up, I feel like it's just Faf. I feel like he was the only consistent player over the season. And maybe Siraj, certain games in the power plays, but to be fair, I feel like the only consistent player over the season was Faf. I mean, apart from that, I really can't take any bright moments, of the season.
Two hundreds for
Especially for the
Kohli.
future. Especially for the huh?
200s for Kohli.
Yeah, but that came in the end. I'm talking about the entire season as a whole.
Mm,
And
mm,
consistency. I feel like fair enough. He backed himself in the past two games. The last two games scored two centuries back to back. I mean, apart from that, to be fair, even Kohli was below par the entire season. I mean, during certain games he didn't even show up. And I'm talking about consistency wise. I don't think there was any consistent player apart from Fav. So as that, and the entire RCB team as a whole, and looking forward for the future, I don't think anything's going to change because
yeah.
there's really no replacements out there. We'll have to see who are released, but like again, I feel like next season all the teams are going to almost keep their own players. Still, I don't really think RCB can change or improve a lot for the next year because it's still the third year of the same team. So overall, I
Mm,
mean, I just overall I knew it like after the second, third game, especially after the KKR game and the LSG game where we had back-to-back losses. They just looked like a very inconsistent team. I feel like there was really no consistency in the bowling plan and even the batting plan, especially in the middle order. Like every game, you see random people used to come one down, then suddenly you would see Rawat coming one down, then you'd see him coming, five, six. You'd see Lomrod coming number one down, and then you see him going after DK. So there was really no consistency overall, and I just don't
mm,
know. Like I feel like this is the first season in a while because we've been in the playoffs for the past 3 years. It's like the first season in a while where like, what is next? Because like, there's really no, there's really no that future talent or like you can be like,
mm.
you got like two, three good talents to look forward to the next season. I mean, especially like Mumbai when they finished last year, I feel like they still had these, like they had these players like, oh, we had like talents like Tilak Verma, even Ishan Kishan Sky, like we can come back next year. It was never like what's next for them. But like when you look at RCB as a team, like what's next for us, I actually don't know. Like
It's fine. I still think there's a lot to look forward to, but anyways, we'll come to that. Rishi, there's only 1 year left of this cycle, and then we go back into the mega auction, right? So it's about getting through that one more year. Okay, what went wrong for you from an RCB perspective this year? And do you think they'll be able to? It's basically another year. They need to get through another year, and how do they do that?
I mean, to be honest, right from the recruitment during the mega auction, things weren't really clear because there was no plan of. I mean, they retained Devdutt Padikkal, and then they let go of Yuzvendra Chahal, who was like their prime peak bowler, and then only for like within 1 or 2 seasons they let go of Padikkal again. So what is the thinking behind that? And then they got in someone like Karan Sharma, who's not Karan Sharma, sorry, Hasaranga, who's getting sent left, right, center. Okay, he's picking occasionally wickets, but then now he's getting dropped. There's someone like Bracewell coming in, Karan Sharma's coming in. So it's like there's no proper strategy towards
Mm,
there's no like they don't go in with like, okay, we're gonna do this. If things go wrong, we're gonna go to plan B. If that doesn't go wrong, we're gonna go to plan C. I don't see that kind of an organization in terms of RCB. You see like
mm,
proper You see teams like Chennai, like okay, Mumbai, they've pulled a rabbit out of the hat a few times, but like during their peak years, even Mumbai has like they've had like good plans, and even Gujarat,
Hmm.
you see what they're really trying to do. But then when it comes to RCB, that really isn't there. So that is something I feel is really missing.
I actually don't agree with you guys in terms of them not having a plan. I think it's been an unlucky season because you start off the season, you lose Topley, you don't have Hazelwood, you lose Patidar, you lose Will Jacks, you lose literally all your key players, you lose David Welly where he's doing well. One first things first, I think the problem that RCB had is not having a bowling partner with Siraj, somebody to help him out in the power play. I think Topley did that when he played. He did well, but then he got injured. And then David Willey played well for a couple of games. You didn't have Hazelwood for that first, 8 games. You had him for 2 games and then he's back to Australia. So I think if he's back with the Australian national team. So I think they've not had the luck going their way in a lot of ways. You've not had these international players. You lost Rajat Patidar, who was amazing domestically this season, who was brilliant towards the back end of last season. He would have filled in that role, that number 3 spot. And then you're looking at a four, like the top four consisting of Kohli, Faf, Patidar, Maxi, and suddenly that looks really good. And then you have, yeah, okay, DK hasn't fired. Like he probably is somebody. Even in my opinion, I think his time is up. He probably has to go, and they need to look for a replacement, a good Indian finisher. Hopefully, RCB get somebody like a Jitesh Sharma when the mega auction comes around. But they need to get through another year. All in all, I think it's been unlucky. Although yeah, you guys say that they haven't had bowling plans or they haven't had. I mean, I don't know a lot of teams that can go in with very good, strong bowling plans at Chinnaswamy. It's hard, anyways. And when you're losing bowlers consistently, game after game, you lose Topley after the second game, you lose Willie after like the sixth or seventh game, you don't have Hazelwood. It's just hard. And I think I kind of sympathize with the RCB management this time around. Although, again, I have a few issues with some of their decision making, sticking with DK for so long, probably could have gone and given like somebody like a Suyash another chance, or whoever they had like in the camp, but they didn't. Just overall, I think it's been unlucky. I've again loved the way Faf has played this season. He's really carried the batting, a lot of the batting. I like the way Maxi has played in some of these games. He's come really clutch in a couple of games when you needed him to, and he's kind of single-handedly, taken RCB to post 160, 170 totals, and these are good signs for me as an RCB fan. And knowing that Rajat will return next season, I see a good solid top four. All we need to find, I feel like, is a good Indian finisher. It's going to be hard for next year, but I think in the long run, I hope the management looks at finding the right players and they go out and get that Indian finisher.
Rahul, for your point of
Hmm.
like losing out on key players, I mean I would have completely agreed with it if the replacements who are coming in are not able to put in good performances. But the thing is, whoever RCB have replaced the injured players with, they're all coming in and dropping in really good shifts. So like David Willie comes,
Exactly.
he's playing really well, and then Willie gets injured. By the time Hazelwood comes back, he's had a really good couple of games, and then Hazelwood has to go. This Wayne Parnell comes in. Wayne Parnell bowls brilliantly. So it's not like the players who RCB have replaced, albeit that okay, like you can't have a proper lineup. The thing is that the bowlers who have come in, who have been replacements, are doing a really good job, and in fact putting in shifts that are more than expected from them. So it's
Dude,
not
I
like
don't think,
we've been
again,
losing
like,
too
I
players who
don't
are.
think Wayne Parnell has done a great job. Like, I just want to be honest. Like, he was good in the RR game. He was decent. I wouldn't even say good because a couple of the wickets that he got, yeah, Butler slashing it to point goes straight to Siraj. I don't know what Parnell has done there. He's been okay. Like, he's not been bad. He's not been great. Like, he's done a decent job, but he's not restopped. He's not that guy who's going to come in. He's not, say, 6 foot tall. He's going to come and swing it into the right handers. Parnell doesn't really swing it that much. He's been around. He's been decent, but he's not a restop player. He's not, say, a Josh Hazelwood, right? At the end of the day, I want to see Hazelwood play throughout the season, or I want to see Topley play throughout the season. Even David Willie, to an extent, like yeah, Willie did a decent job, but I want Topley or Hazelwood to be that guy to play the entire season. And I feel like I think like if just think of it this way: would you not want Jofra Archer to play consistently throughout the season? Yeah, there might have been
I
some.
mean, I mean, to be honest, he's been hitting half centuries with the ball in whenever he's bowled.
I know exactly. Like, but on any given day, like if you're moving into a season, would you not want him to play like every game? You want your main strike bowlers to be there, and yeah, they weren't there. And Hasiranga getting injured towards the back end of the tournament again didn't help because then you're searching for leg spinning options. Kan Sharma didn't work out. It's been a weird season, I'd say, and it's been but I've seen a lot of fight in this RCB team, especially from Virat, to bounce back in those two games with those 200s, huge hundreds for RCB. The first one, the SRH game. Second one, honestly thought against the game against GT, the job was done when Virat scored the 197 is a great score. I think again, it's a game where they were so unlucky because I've not seen in the first 6, 7, 8 overs those many runs behind the wicket in any game. Never seen it ever in my life. And to have so many runs behind the wicket, I don't know, dude. Like if that's not bad luck, I don't know what is. But yeah, Adi, what do you think RCB have to do next season? What changes do they have to make for you?
Dude, that's the thing. Like when you talk about the injuries, suddenly you think about it like we have. I mean, hopefully first, like hopefully Faf, continues his form or like has the same form next season. And then Kohli, we have Patidar, Maxwell, and even Will Jack. So that suddenly the
Yeah,
top five is very solid. Like it's a very very good batting side, and that's what I was thinking before the season started. I'm like looking at that batting, I always felt like that batting depth, and especially with DK last year and even a bit of like Lomro, I felt like could have taken the job because I remember by the end he also got a bit of chances and played. So I thought, okay, they have like very good batting depth. And we've been very unlucky with injuries. Will Jack's gone, Patida gone, and even with the bowling options of Topley not being able to play this season, uh, Willie out, and even Hazelwood, just played 2 3 games and he bounced out. So yeah, overall it was an unlucky season with the injuries, but I still feel like the overall squad building. I just feel like it's very weird because like you see the way RCB allotted their budget. I still feel like in T20 you need like a very good spinner, like whatever spinner it is, off spinner, leg
I
spinner. I
agree.
think
Mm,
we've seen over in T20s the only bowlers that have like very low economy rate and is able to change the game generally are the spinners, and especially I mean the RCB spinners going from Chell to like Hasaranga has been a huge drop off I feel overall, and we're paying good money for Hasaranga, and same with Harshal Patel, and I feel like these players haven't really helped for the price tag paying. I feel like the same,
mm,
22 crores for the two players, we can get better value from other players. So that's why I say like squad building and squad balance is very, very like weird. Because
mm,
having Sell an Indian spinner would have always helped us so you get an extra batting or bowling option for as a foreigner. Now we have to play Asaranga because he's the only good bowler there as a spinner. I mean, Bracewell, whatever he played this season, I don't think he's been good enough. Even with the batting, he got a good
mm,
chance. Against GT, also, he looked very shaky. His force, which he scored, was very, very, it was not a power hitting force. It was very, like, it was very weak, in my opinion. I just feel like Bracewell overall, he's got a bit of batting chances and he's not proven that good. So I just feel like
mm,
all the squad balance, I feel like we really need an Indian spinner. Because
mm,
we rarely see foreign spinners in IPL. I mean, if we see foreign spinners, it's only the top spinners like Rashid Khan, Narayan. So even Tikshana to an extent. But like, that's the thing, bro. I feel like we need a bit of squad balance. Like, okay,
no,
now I feel
I
like
agree. Yeah. Mm,
yeah, next year I feel like I feel like they're gonna kick DK out because we've seen over the past 3 4 games they're slowly transitioning him out of keeping and
mm,
batting. So like I don't think he bats anymore. So like I don't see the point of keeping him for like what we pay him like 4 crores. So I don't see the point of keeping him next season. So you kick him out, then I feel like again like who are we going to replace him with? Like we need another player. I feel like Rawat over the past 3 games, coming as a finisher. he's been able to play a bit more better. I feel like
Yeah.
I just feel like he's been better. Like against Rajasthan, we saw he played well. Even yesterday against GT, he played pretty well. It looks like he can play better when the ball's a bit more softer and it's easier to hit compared to coming one down or opening where he
Mm.
struggles. So and even keeping I feel like he was a game changer for against RR especially, both with the batting and keeping. He was pretty good against GT. Also, he played well. I I mean, past two games, it looks like at least you can get him if we can't replace DK with anyone else. I feel like Rawat, at least for next year, will be his last chance, to go
Mm.
to the next level. And I feel like the RCB management have kept like a lot of belief and hope in him because we pay around we bid around 4 crores for him, and like we gave him chances last year, we've given chances this year. I feel like next year is going to be the year he has to prove. But I still feel like our bowling, bro. I feel like that's the biggest issue for us. Like I feel like batting, even though we don't have the squad, we still score a lot of 200 runs. We still get a lot from Fav, Kohli, and your Max. So we've scored 200 runs a lot, but the way we've defended 200 runs has been the more worrying part. Like you see Siraj, Harshal Patel, they keep bowling the same line and length when they're getting smacked all over the park. Especially Siraj, I feel like he doesn't have that variation. And like when you saw against Mumbai, also Hazelwood was also. I don't think Hazelwood came to play IPL this year. I just feel like his mind was more on the Test Championship.
Which is fair.
But yeah, I just feel like the bowling lineup. I feel like that's the same problem every. It's been the same problem forever for RCB. The bowling lineup and middle order. We've never been able to get a good player, and I feel like it's going to continue next year also. I can't see what's going to change in a bowling order because, like, I feel like batting order even next year. I'll be like, I'm confident with them. Like, I can still see them scoring 200 runs in Chennai. But like, when it comes to like, I don't think bowling. Like, I have to see, bro. Like, what are we going to change next year? Because I really feel like we need a spinner, and we don't have that.
I agree. I think one thing that RCB is lacking is an Indian spinner. I honestly don't see Hasaranga playing every game next season, and not because he's not good enough. I just think if RCB need to use that third foreigner, like fourth foreigner, it has to be as a quick. I want to see Reece Topley or Hazelwood playing that role along with Siraj, and then you're looking at a good 4 overs at the top. You play Faf, you play Maxi, and you have
Will Jack?
space for another foreigner, and you can play either Will Jacks or you go with Hasaranga. Either ways, I think RCB need another leg spinner, especially. I remember once said this when we were talking also. He said we need a good wrist spinner, and I think that's true. And I saw a decent bit from Himanshu Sharma. Like he looked decent, and if RCB can build on him, it's great. Then you're looking at 3, 4 bowlers decently, and you're hoping Harshal Patel pulls off a good season next year. After that, I think there's a lot of chopping and changing that RCB need to do once the cycle is done. But somehow get Himanshu Sharma to work or get another good wrist spinner is what I think is important. Another thing that we lack is we don't have a left arm orthodox who is good enough. Somewhere in the spin department, yeah, we are
Sharma has
lacking. And yeah, but yeah, it's just it's worrying from a spin department point of view. But let's see what happens. Let's move on from RCB. Hopefully, they can sort a few things out. I think it's not looking that bad next season. It's just a few things here and there, and we should be fine. Let's talk about the playoffs. We just finished one of them. It was CSK versus GT. CSK came away with a pretty comfortable victory in the end. After Gill went, it didn't look like GT were getting anywhere close to it. Rashid Khan almost gave GT some sort of hope, but really nothing there. Rishi, what do you make of the game? What do you think the playoffs are going to look like? Who do you think is going to come out on top?
I mean, that's a classic CSK performance. They'll put up, like about just about runs, and then they start choking the opponents right from the start. And to be honest, the analysts and in at the halftime, this one when Mohit Sharma was saying that the ball is not gripping properly, it's always stopping, it's not coming onto the bat, and that
Yeah, it
they
starts
were
sticking
like
there.
internally they were saying 180, 175, 180 is like a really good score for Chennai, and like GT are gonna have to really put in a shift to get those runs. It's true. Like I mean, it's not looking really bright and gloomy for MI tomorrow, to be honest, because they've
Mm-hmm.
always relied on power hitting, and they've always been like, okay, no matter how much the opponents are gonna hit, we're just gonna outscore them. But when it comes to a track like Chennai, I don't think, getting smacked for like 190, 200 is can be affordable. Like even for, like, the quality of batsmen that MI has,
Mm.
there's like the ground is huge, the pitch is really challenging. So I really hope MI really, controls, reins in the runs leakage, and let's see what happens.
I think again valid point because it turned almost this much for Jadeja a couple of times,
Yeah.
and it was quite scary to see that because yeah, no, CSK are through to the final. It depends on who GT plays, and I honestly actually see Lucknow doing a job here because they've got Bishnoi, they've got Krunal, who's looked pretty good
Ronald
like throughout the
is
season.
gonna come ball this medium pace
Yeah,
rippers.
exactly. And if it turns a little, it's going to be very challenging for anybody who's going to bat on that wicket. But again, from a Mumbai perspective, we're hoping Piyush Chawla comes good. Kumar Karthikeya comes good this game, and Piyush Chawla has been really good throughout the season. So yeah, it is going to be battle of the spinners. It's just who comes out on top. Adi, who do you think comes out on top tomorrow when
I
Lucknow
feel like it's
play?
more of like who's going
My,
to be able to play the spin well, because like we know
hmm,
that's going to be there regardless. It's the Chepok, and I feel like especially today CSK having home advantage basically was like, so obviously like we expected them to win the game.
yeah,
But tomorrow I just feel like, looking at the batting lineup, I feel like hopefully Mumbai can, bat it through because they just have the batting depth. Even though most of the players like pace over the spin, I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like they'll be able to bat better because you look at the Lucknow batting lineup. I mean, when you see, Krunal
hmm,
one down, I just feel like it's a bit more weak. So I feel like whatever target Mumbai keep, I feel like I mean, whatever it is, like I feel like Mumbai just have the better batting lineup, and I feel like they'll be able to play the spin well. I mean, they got Tilak Varma
hmm.
back last game, and they've been looking pretty solid in the batting department. Rohit Sharma has been playing well. Ishan Kishan's been playing well. I mean, all of them are playing well, basically. I mean, you saw Cameron Green going mad last game. I feel like, legit the batting lineup, I don't see any weaknesses weirdly. I feel like the thing is, it's the fluidity of their team. Sometimes Cameron Green can go like, come 4-5 and he can still finish it off. So, and he can come even at number 3 and finish it off. So it's like, I just feel like overall the batting, I feel like their batting is stronger. I feel like both the teams have a weak bowling lineup comparatively. I don't really think LSG also have that great of a bowling lineup. It's going to be more of like who bats well. I expect Mumbai to get the win, especially being playoffs and them being a playoff team. I can see them winning it. So, yeah.
I think it's gonna be tight. I have a funny feeling for LSG tomorrow, weirdly. And but anyways, we go back to Ahmedabad after this. Gujarat CSK were home. They did well. Then Gujarat go back home. Maybe they beat whoever it is and go into the finals. Guys, do you see GT making the finals? Rishi?
Yeah, dude, because it's their home stadium. I mean, really,
Yeah,
I don't.
it's
They've been better off home than at home. I remember
mm,
checking it, but I feel like during playoffs, it's going to always help when you play in your home stadium. Apart from RCB in 2016, uh, yeah, I feel like they know what they're doing. I mean, they already played CSK in Ahmedabad the first opening game, and then they looked very
they
solid,
won.
chased it very easily, and they overall as a team they look very solid there. And even though I put CSK as the winners, if GT make it to the final, I still would give GT the upper hand because it's just their home stadium, and this is the second time they're playing the finals in Ahmedabad. I just feel like everyone's accustomed to that place, and especially Gillen in
Mm,
good form. I just think if they go to the finals, especially, it's going to be a very tight game. Like I can't really choose, even though I gave CSKs. But the thing is, if I feel like if it's anyone else, I feel like if it's Mumbai or LSG, I would just give CSK the
the
upper
win,
hand
yeah.
to win it. But like it just depends if GT are able to win it.
Rishi, if GT, would you see GT making the final first of all? And if you do, then who wins it?
I mean, I definitely do see GT making it to the final because they, like, first of all, they look a much balanced side, and of course, albeit that Mumbai are a proper playoff side and they come clutch when it comes to crucial games, I still think GT have enough balance, enough firepower to like see it through comfortably. And like Adi said, like they're very familiar, they're extremely familiar to their home ground. They've been playing a lot of games there, even last season. So
Yeah.
and they've been coming off like, okay, like agreed, they had a one-off bad performance against CSK, but they're still coming in with a really good momentum. So if, like, regardless, I still see Gujarat making it to the final. And like, yeah, again, when it comes to the, I to be honest, finals, it all comes down to one player, or like like a short 10-minute gap for the whole final to turn around. So I don't, I mean, of course they have GT, they do have an upper hand, but I still think it's going to be a really close game. All it takes is like a matter of a couple of balls, like 1 over, or like a span of like 10 balls from someone like a Shivam Dubey or something to completely tilt the game. So I don't know. It's too close to call.
I think that's fair enough, dude. I'm with you. I can't call it, but if I had to give it to somebody, I'd give it to CSK. But I'm supporting LSG, dude. I can't see Mumbai, CSK, or GT win again. I just don't want to see it. I just hope LSG do well. They beat Mumbai, then they beat GT, and they win the final. But
You
anyways,
want
guys,
more like teams to win a trophy before RCB, basically.
no, I
Yeah,
don't,
so
bro.
I was
I'm
just gonna
just,
say that.
Exactly.
Because
dude. I'm
I'd
it's
just
just
sick.
rather
gonna reflect.
GT team
It's
win
gonna
over
reflect
No, bro.
so
I'm
badly on
sick
the
of.
trophy.
No, 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 no.
No,
I'm
I'd
just sick
rather
of
have
watching
RCB
us
win trophy
CSK
like
and Mumbai
than
winning.
having everyone win and me just looking at RCB and being like, bro, what
Oh
the
no,
hell?
I don't want the same guys to win again. I don't want CSK winning 10 trophies before RCB have won. But yeah,
At this point, I mean, see, at this point, an extinct team has won an IPL. A fresh team in their first season has won an IPL. All of this before RCB. So, like, the fact that you are supporting LSG is just damn trippy.
dude, see, anyways, like, I mean, looking at it that way, you just don't know when this trophy is going to come. So it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to wait for it. Hopefully it comes soon. But yeah, um, that's pretty much it, guys. I enjoy the last few days of the IPL. It's going to be back to boring stuff after that. There's no for guys who follow football. There's no football after that. There's no cricket for the cricket fans. The World Test
See,
Championship
there's
final will end in
WTC,
5 days.
yeah.
That will go on for 5 days, and it's
Ashes
going to be
again.
throughout. It's going to be throughout. Yeah, but like again, Test cricket throughout in the morning. Not everyone's going to get watched. Let's see what happens. But yeah, anyways, guys, enjoy the IPL while it lasts. Have a good night, and boys will preview the final.